So what we're doing at the minute, we're just framing out the side of the van. So we're going to go from top to bottom, and then we're going to cut out sort of like a window frame to maximise the width so we can get the mattress in. So what we're actually doing, trying not to purchase unnecessary materials, we're using the old ply lining, what we took out of the van from the wall, so there's nothing really wrong with it. The only problem, it's a bit thin. So what I'm actually doing, just cutting a couple of strips, putting a bit of glue between and fastening together just to double the strength. And then once I've done this side, I'll then start cutting out and making a frame so that the mattress can go right against, almost against the side of the van. As I say, just to maximise the width of the van and get us a full length mattress in there. So we've got most of the framing done on this side. What I've done, I've put the piece of red timber across the top, that's attaching them all together. And then what we'll do when we come to build sort of, let's say it's like a window frame, but there'll be no window in it, giving us the extra length, what we'll do, we'll actually cut out this section. So we'll get some measurements, we'll make the frame, cut this out, slot it in, and then it's just giving us the extension for the bed to make sure that we can have a full length bed. So I'm making a start on the bed, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to fit some wood to the sides of the van. So on this piece here, I'm going to put a batten going across, and then that will allow us to span the width of the van, the width across the back. So this side, so there's going to be a piece on this side, piece on that side, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to mark up the wood, put some riv nuts in, then we'll put some insulation behind it, bolt it onto the wall, and then that's ready for the spans going across. So we bought some timber, it's 140mm high, 38mm thick, and I'm going to cut it to about 140 centimetres, so, and then get it fitted on. So yeah, let's get on with it. We managed to get his wood in place. It fits just nice. It doesn't matter that it might be a bit too long at this end, because what that'll be, eventually that'll just end up in the wall. I'm just going to drill straight through, mark the wall behind, take the wood out of the way and get some riv nuts in. So giving them a little spray, okay, just to protect it. So we're going to put the rev nut in. It is the first time I've actually used these. I bought the rev nut gun for doing the roof, but we found out I didn't need to do it when we did the solar. All we're going to do is put it in all the way. Nice firm push. And squeeze. Take it out. And you can't see what I'm doing because I'm filming the wrong one. So again, in we go. Nice big squeeze. And then unscrew the tool.
I'll be sure to make comments for doing that.
Not taking it back off again. Okay, so we've got it on behind where the bed frame's going to be, and we can see the bolts sticking out. I have already done the other side. I didn't actually film it, but we've got the piece of wood on, and you can just see in the gap there. We've just put that just to give us a bit of a insulation between the wood and the side of the van. Can you see here? I'll do that one a bit. So I said we're not going to put the cross members on just yet, and these will also be cut off. So what I'm going to do is search, because we're going to try and get the full width, and we're going to try and get the bed or the mattress right into there. So these will be cut off roughly where you see that big red piece of timber, and there'll be a frame just in there. So we've managed to get the box in on this side where the bed's going to go. Obviously, as you can see there where we've put the bottom of the support for the bottom of the bed, we're going to then put in the cross members going this way, so they'll pick up that bit, and then we'll actually put a bottom on there so you won't see that. So quite happy with that. I didn't really film much of doing it because she'd basically been looking at my back for a lot of it, and it was actually quite a frustrating job trying to get it all lined up. So such as in this corner where the van comes in a little bit there, we've actually had to cut the corner off. But again, once we get the cross members of the bed in, you'll only literally be able to see that, and then that'll be covered by the mattress and with whatever we put on the wall. So yeah, we'll bomb to the other side. want to give you a bit of an update as to where we are, share a bit of footage, what I've been doing recently on the van. We've not actually done as much as we'd hoped recently. With it being winter months, it's been quite cold and working, etc. It's been quite difficult to manage to get to work, come home in the van at night in the cold, etc. But we've cracked on a little bit, and we have filmed some of it, which we're going to share with you in this video now. But I'll just give you a little update as to where we are. So we've got the ends for the bed. That's on them struts there. That's what the bed's actually going to sit on top of them when we put the cross beams on. We've made as such frames to allow us to get the full 6'6" bed that we want, side to side. If we would have insulated like we've seen a lot of people do, where they put battens on such as that, then you're actually restricting the length of the mattress. So we've got one there, and just behind some of this rubbish here you can see another one there. Again, we've got the frame for the end of the bed. We've got a lot of the ceiling done, so when we're trying to work this out, we're using the 2.4 metre 6mm ply sheets, and what we found is putting them side to side, there'd actually be a lot of wastage trying to meet up with the joins. So we ended up putting one full sheet in, so from just off the back doors there right up to just before the max fan there is one sheet, and then we've got another sheet from there all the way forward, which meets up with the bulkhead, and then it's just arching as such as it gets further forward. On the previous video you'll see that we've got the diesel heater in, which is just down there. That has been helping us get on with a bit because it's been keeping it nice and warm. And then the next job, what we're going to do is we're going to build up the front of the bed, or front edge of the bed should I say, so that we can get on, and then we're going to build the shower and toilet cubicle, which is going to be, the shower tray is going to be where the cutout is there, and we're going to try and get the toilet just over this side here, although that is a bit narrower than we'd hoped. So I didn't actually film cutting this because it was a bit of a pain, to be honest, but what we've done, using a piece of 12mm ply for the end of the bed, I've cut from the bottom up around the wheel arch, up along the side of the van, around a little bit, and then I've scribed a little bit at the top there, exactly the same at this side. And then what we're hoping to achieve, so around the wheel arch, up the side, and then the top, we're hoping that it's going to line up perfectly with this part just here. So we'll get that fitted and see how we get on. Thanks for watching. Hope you've enjoyed this video. Please like, please subscribe, and join us on the next one where we'll be continuing with the van build.